primary election is just 2 days away, and all week long we've had the major candidates running for Honolulu mayor. Earlier this week, we interviewed Councilman Rod Tam and UH engineering professor Panos Provodoros. Earlier this morning, we talked to acting Mayor Kirk Caldwell, and our Dan Meisenzal joins us now with former city prosecutor Peter Carlisle.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mahealani, and Mr. Carlisle, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
My pleasure, Dan.
Really appreciate it. All right, lots we want to ask you. First of all, I want to ask you about something that happened in the Hawaii News Now debate. You weren't sure where Lualua was.
A tragedy, absolutely true, on the Waianae Coast.
On the Waianae Coast, and so I guess it just one of the things that maybe you're not as familiar with the entire island. Is that a true perception?
No, it has to do with me not knowing the names of places. I've been in Waianae multiple times for cases and for friends, so that's not the issue. The issue is a lapse in memory, probably associated with old age.
Old age and probably lack of sleep due to the campaigning, from what I hear. Another question I wanted to ask, we posed this question to Abercrombie, too. A lot of candidates, including your opponent, Mr. Caldwell, their wives appear in their ads. How come we haven't seen your wife in any of your ads?
My wife and I have had a long understanding that what I do and what she does is separate. She has her own life, and she's a private person and prefers her privacy, and I, as a wise husband, what my wife wants, she gets, okay? A happy wife makes a happy life.
Very good, very good. And let's go back to Mr. Caldwell. The attack ads that have come out targeting you. This is something, of course, he was behind the polls, according to some of the last numbers there. How has that affected your campaign?
Well, you have to do that if you're in a certain place. I mean, we've expected people to do that. I think it says a little bit about character. But more importantly, when you see the attack ads, all you got to really do is think about my 14 years as a career as the prosecuting attorney. And do you believe those types of things in the way that I've conducted myself during my professional career? And I would suggest to you the answer is pretty easy to find out that that's not true. Plus, all you have to do is look into the facts for about 5 minutes, actually 30 seconds, and you can figure out that none of it's true.
What about the next 2 days? What can you do in the next 2 days that can have any impact on the election, or is it just something you just have to do what you got to do and just hope for the best on Saturday?
No, I think you can. I think you can talk about some other issues if you get the opportunity. One of the issues that I'm sort of interested in right now is this issue about people who have lots and lots of money, let's say $2 million homes, and not being able to pay $5,000 in property taxes. Well, I can understand the theory behind the law, but in practice, and particularly after the article that came out yesterday in terms of how it's being put into effect, this is something that really stinks.
Now, you're referring to Caldwell, of course, he owns
well, he's one of them, but I mean, I think you have to look at the whole picture. And I mean, the whole picture seems to be, yes, we want historic areas preserved, but is that really for restoration, or is it a tax break for life? I mean, we don't get that kind of tax break. I think most people are wondering why, if you can afford a nearly $2 million home, why can't you afford $5,000 in taxes? The rest of us pay thousands of dollars in many instances. Why are they getting this break? And I'd like to take a look into that.
But can you blame people for taking advantage of a tax break that's there for them?
Oh, if something doesn't pass the stink test, and I mean this really doesn't, then I think you've got a real serious question as to whether or not you should accept that. There have been time and time again when the economy is going bad or when there have been issues about getting money to deputy prosecutors that I've not taken a raise. I could have taken it. I had the legal ability to do it, but I didn't do it. And I think that that's important for that type of attitude to permeate not just the prosecutor's office, but the public in general.
All right, Peter Carlisle, former prosecutor of the city of Honolulu, and now he's running for the mayor of Honolulu. Sir, thanks again for taking the time and being with us this morning. Really
and I'm very concerned about sex pills and goats marrying donkeys. What kind of operation are you guys running around here?
It's called Morning News, sir. And we're happy that you were part of it this morning. Now, to watch this interview again or any other interviews with the candidates that we've interviewed here on KITV4 Morning News, despite the sex pills and the animals saving each other, please go ahead and log on to KITV/thismorning, KITV.com/thismorning. And don't forget to tune into KITV4 News this Saturday for the most complete coverage of the primary election. It starts at 5:30 p.m. and KITV.com will have the updates throughout the night. And our very own Mahealani Richardson will be at Peter Carlisle's headquarters on Saturday, and she joins us back now with Kenny Choi.